Earlier this week, there was a fight that broke out at an airport between a United Airlines employee and Brendan Langley, who apparently is some former football player, but who cares? Either way, I posted this clip, and it caught quite a bit of attention on social media. And the biggest debate was, one, who initiated the fight, but on second, a lot of people were complaining because apparently it was a clipped version of the full fight, which then further escalated the debate of, well, this guy actually didn't start the fight, because if you watch the full video, in fact, Langley started the fight. Well, at the time when I made this clip, that was the only footage that was out. I'm talking like same day or next day, whatever it was. As soon as like footage surfaced, this was all I saw across multiple different, sources. This was the only clip that I saw. Eventually, I saw a longer clip, which is still considered the full version. And even in that full version, I have my opinion on what I believe actually happened. And that's what we were going to discuss today. Now, before we dive into the video, let me just touch on a couple more things. First of all, this is the fullest extent of the video that I have seen. I have not seen any other versions of this video across any social media, YouTube, news accounts. This is the fullest version. The version that I posted starts about 15 seconds after this one. Now, for you haters out there, if there is a version that apparently you have and no one else does, please drop it down in the comments so we can see it, because apparently you're the only one that has it. In the video, you are going to see the two gentlemen standing face to face with each other. Now, if you notice that there is something wrong with this picture already, it's the fact that Mr. United here should be behind his counter, but instead he is now face to face, shoulder to shoulder with Langley. I do not know if there is any, we don't know what happened exactly beforehand. Again, we know it's an argument, it had to do with luggage or wheelchair, whatever the case is. The problem is we don't know if there's any physical altercation that results prior to where this video starts. I will say, based off their body language, that I would argue that this is where the initial point of contact takes place, because again, they're both squared up to each other, they're still yelling at each other. I don't believe that there's been any physical contact. Now, I will say this, and a lot of people tend to forget this. No matter how angry he gets, no matter how pissed off he gets, he should have remained behind the counter. The fact that he came out from behind the counter and stepped up to Langley shows that he is looking for a fight, that he is ready to fight, and now he has initially become the aggressor. Now, if Langley throws the first punch, you're on the gray area of what is considered self-defense at that point. But again, as of right now, he is the aggressor because he stepped up to him. He got into his personal space. He walked behind his desk, especially as an employee. You're coming off of your work area and coming face-to-face, chest puffed out, ego thriving to a customer. Now, what I want you to pay attention to at the beginning of this video is you are going to see Mr. United throw his initial shove. And as a result of him throwing that initial shove, you are going to see Langley retaliate with a slap. Make sure you pay attention. Boom. Shove. And you can literally see him getting shoved back right now. His whole body is getting blown back right now. But he's a top-tier athlete. He's going to quickly retaliate with a right-hand slap. Right away. Now, that is the initial contact. What a lot of people saw was right where we're about to start seeing, which is Mr. Langley's about to throw a whole series of punches. But what you need to pay attention to is after that. So not only did Mr. United throw the initial shove, and he retaliated then with a slap, but in this situation, you're going to see Mr. United standing here egging him on, and he's literally telling him, hey, come on, do it, do it. Egging him on to throw his punches. Which again, if you're trying to defend yourself, you're not really helping your case if you're telling the person to hit you. But let's continue watching. Come on. There's he's yelling. Dodges the first couple. Clips one. Kind of stumbles back a little bit. Still thinks he's top shit. And that's it. Okay? So yes, that is what a lot of people were arguing about on my video, was the fact that, oh, he threw 5 punches. He threw a whole bunch of punches first. You're not showing the full video. Well, we just watched the full video, and he retaliated with punches after being egged on by also retaliating with a slap after being shoved. So either which way, would I have thrown a ton of punches? No, I probably would have left it with the slap. He pushed me, I slapped you, I back off. If the guy's trying to egg me on, I'm not looking for a fight. And again, neither should you. You shouldn't look for fights unless it's absolutely necessary. No offense, this isn't really a life or death situation. He easily could have just walked away. But nope, he retaliates, throws a few punches. Is he in the wrong there? Yes and no. Again, it's kind of like a little gray area of self-defense. The guy's egging you on. He already threw first punch per se. You don't know if he's going to throw anything else, all right? But now let's start kind of getting to part 2 of this, and we're going to slowly start feeding into where my clip started. And I want you to pay attention. So if you notice, let's backtrack it a little bit. You're going to see that he threw a chunk of punches, and then he's going to shove them up there. And one thing that I want you to pay attention to is right here, I want you to see what he's about to do with his hands. Now, if you see here, he's not punching him. He's not shoving him. He's literally putting his hands out saying, hey, dude, I'm done. Like, we're done. Fight's over. That's it. Like, I threw punches at you. You shoved me. I retaliated. You egged me on. I retaliated. I landed a couple shots. No harm, no foul. Like, you're okay. Suck it up. Move on. Mr. United over here has a little bit of an ego, though. He doesn't like getting this guy. He doesn't like the fact that this guy got the better of him. So what's he going to do? This guy's going to start walking away, starts collecting his headphones. Again, this is where my clip now begins, so we all know how it starts. Mr. United's going to come up and surprise him with a slap to the face. Again, because apparently he doesn't know how to punch, just slap. So he waits till he's not looking, clocks him in the face with a blind slap. Okay? And once again, not only does he slap him, but he starts egging him on again. Like, look, this man's ready to go. Like, come on. He's literally throwing his hands like, come on, let's go, let's go. So, like, I don't know what kind of ego this guy has to, one, step out from behind a counter, two, initiate a fight, get slapped hard, then egg the guy on, get punched multiple times, slap him again, and then continue to egg him on, which now you're about to see him get clocked with the right hand. But let's move on now to the points that I was making in my video. If you are the person throwing the first punch, now again, there are circumstances in self-defense where it is okay to throw the first punch, and if you don't realize that, then you truly don't understand self-defense. Doesn't mean that you're initiating a fight. There are plenty of circumstances where throwing the first punch is totally acceptable. You just have to understand the legality of it. But I digress. If at any point, for any reason, you throw a punch or decide that you have to put your hands on somebody, you better be ready for the repercussions. Now, this started all the way at the beginning. When Mr. United shoved him, he wasn't ready. He got hit. He egged him on, got punched. He slaps him a second time, and what is this guy still doing? His hands are still down by his waist. Rule number one of fighting, my friends, if you're in a fight, put your hands up by your face. Simple as that. Doesn't mean that you're going to be the best fighter, but at least you can protect yourself a little bit. And what does he do? Hands are down, so he eats a right hand punch immediately, which at that point, like, dude, your clock is out. You're going to bed. But he follows up kind of with like a half-ass second punch a little bit, knocks him down, and now you get like the theatrical falling, resulting in, nice break fall. Did you see that? He even slapped the ground. That's like day one jiu-jitsu stuff. So he does a nice break fall. At this point, you're going to start hearing Langley shouting, I don't start shit, I finish it. And he's trying to like walk away from the situation. Again, he's already fought a guy. He obviously is probably aware that there's going to be some sort of repercussion. So he's literally like trying to walk away and get out of the situation. He's yelling at all the employees saying, y'all watching this, you're seeing this. He's just trying to get out of the situation. But boy, he was not expecting Mr. United to have such a good ego, huh? Collects his headphones, walks away, and sure enough, dazed and confused, wipe that blood out of my eyes.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
And he proceeds to come right back up, in which Mr. Langley once again steps back and is like, this guy wants some more. Now, look at his hands again. He is still egging him on for a fight. He's still stepping up to the guy. He's still squaring up, like chest puffed out, arms off to the side, like, come on, man, what do you got? What more you got? You didn't do shit. What more you got? This guy has the biggest ego. Not only are you losing your job or you lost your job, whatever, you stepped up to a top-tier athlete. Whether you realize it or not, you picked the wrong person to throw a punch at first. 2, you got your ass kicked multiple times. You got slapped, you got punched again, you cut your head open, you fell down, and you're still trying to come back up. I respect the heart, but you have to know your place. You can't fight. I'm sorry, period. You can't fight. Maybe in your head you did, or maybe as a younger kid you beat the crap out of somebody and it boosted your ego, but man, Mr. United, know your place, dude. Step down. That's it. Like, now at this point, it's so difficult to be able to tell what is and isn't like self-defense in this situation and what is fighting, because now both people are essentially the aggressor. But again, in my opinion, and this is solely my opinion, I would still argue that Mr. United threw the first shove. Now, again, I'm not saying that he initiated the conflict. We don't know how the conflict initiated, who got heated first, who started arguing first, but either which way, it appears, according to this video, that Mr. United stepped up to Mr. Langley, and then, as we saw in this video, he also put his hands on him first, which again, you stepped up to somebody, which already initiates the aggression, and 2, you put your hands on somebody, which now initiates the fight fully. So, in my opinion, folks, unless I'm not seeing what everyone else is apparently seeing, Mr. United still started the fight. Now, I understand that the clip I posted started 15 seconds after, but as I mentioned before, that was the only footage that was available. I apologize, but in the comments, I did drop this full video along with all the news articles that have stated that Mr. United did in fact throw the first punch, as you shall call it. It was just kind of like a pathetic shove followed by a couple pathetic slaps that just didn't really work out in his favor. Sorry, bud. So what are some things that we can take away from this video? How about we just don't fight people? Because you never really know what anyone's background or experience is. You know, like one of the best things about going to like watching a fight or like a boxing match or something is majority of the people in the crowd know how to fight. So there really isn't any shit talk. There really isn't any bad blood or banter because everybody can fight. So it's actually very peaceful. It's the problem is when you get guys like this that just have a big ego and think that they're hot shit, and then they pick the fight with the wrong person. Now, I'm not saying Mr. Langley has any fighting experience. I have no idea. I don't even know he was a football player until people started posting about it. Either which way, he's a top-tier athlete, especially if he's in the NFL or ex-NFL. But he's a top-tier athlete, and you don't have to be the best fighter to know that a top-tier athlete can still probably handle themselves better than most in most situations because they're just naturally athletic and strong and fast. So, like, either which way, don't pick a fight with someone of that tier, regardless. But two, just don't pick fights in general because shit like this happens. You fall, you crack your head open. Now, fortunately, it doesn't look like he sustained much damage past just, I don't know how bad the cut was. But it could have been a lot worse. He could have had severe head trauma. He could have broken something. Like, that situation could have gone completely far in the wrong direction. And fortunately, it was just a flesh wound across the eye. And that's kind of where it goes from there. But just don't fight people, period. Don't try and start fights. We should be focusing more on learning how to de-escalate situations like that. Had the employee, again, we don't know if he initiated the verbal part, but if it was the other guy, had he just stayed calm, stayed collective, maybe that situation could have kind of been, worked itself out and de-escalated. But again, he decided to take the ego route and step up to this guy, and the rest is history from there. If you do engage in a fight, whether you know how to fight or not, you should at least have your hands up to protect yourself. There's literally no reason to punch somebody and then put your hands down at your side. Like, if you put your hands on somebody else, my hand should be here immediately, or however, whatever your blocking method is. But your hand should be up, period. Protect your face, all right? That's like day one of fighting. Keep your hands up. Simple knowledge. So there you have it. Again, if you are out there still bitching and arguing of who you believe threw the first punch, because I'm apparently not showing the full video, then please comment the full video down below because no one apparently has been able to show me anything otherwise. And according to this video, Mr. United did make the initial physical contact again, along with also stepping up. And again, that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to fighting as a whole, but we already covered that stuff. So there you have it. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up as it does help with the algorithm, which allows for the channel to grow more overall. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time, my friends.